Welcome back to my 100-day drawing challenge 2020. Today is day number 28 and the prompt is instrument. Okay, I know I've been doing a lot of redraws lately, but this illustration is actually one that I knew I wanted to redraw ever since last year, pretty much. I really liked the character that I came up with and drew last year for this prompt, but I didn't really like the illustration overall, so I was really excited to draw this character again and hopefully try and do her justice and do a better illustration this time around. I definitely knew that I wanted a little bit more of a dynamic pose. I had a little bit of trouble trying to fit the entire character on the page, so I did end up doing kind of like 3/4 of the character as opposed to a full body of the character, which I think worked out better anyway. I think it was a good size to have on the page. So last year I just absolutely loved the colours of this character and her outfit. I just thought she was really cute and I really liked her outfit and her vibe. I just thought she was really cool and I was really excited to redraw this character again this year. I think the colour palette was interesting. It's not necessarily colours that I would usually put together. I don't really think I had an idea for the colour palette last year, so it was kind of a happy accident in that kind of way. But I ended up liking the colour palette. The one thing that I would do differently from last year's is the background colour. So that is something that I changed this year. But I loved the kind of dark blue hair with that kind of pinky purple colour and then a paler purple. So I wanted to include all of those elements again this year. Oh, and I don't think I've even mentioned the instrument. So the prompt today is instrument. So I gave the character a guitar. Again, I'm just redrawing the character from last year. So last year I came up with this character who's like playing the guitar. So I just basically wanted to redraw that again this year, but make it better. And I actually really like the way that the illustration came out this year. I definitely prefer it to last year, because I think it's a little bit more dynamic. She's got a bit more of a dynamic pose going on. Not that it's overcomplicated, but there is a bit more movement going on. One thing I did do differently actually is I made her hair a little bit paler. That wasn't necessarily deliberate. I just started out with a much paler colour because I really wanted to layer the markers up so that I could get some depth and dimension to the hair, because last year it looked very flat. But then as I was adding the darker colours, I actually really liked the lighter colours that I'd already added, so I actually really like the way the hair turned out. I think it gives it a lot of depth, makes it look quite dynamic, but when directly compared to last year it does make her hair look a much paler colour, but I honestly don't mind because I think it looks really cool. I added all these little music notes around her as well, just because I wanted to add some interest to the background. I didn't want to do just a block colour, nor did I want to draw an entire background, because this is still a 100-day challenge and that would absolutely take me forever. It would take me like hours longer to plan out and draw an entire background. So I'm pretty happy with the way I've been doing backgrounds at the moment, which is always to add a background and add some interest to the background and frame the character, but don't go too overcomplicated with it. And I feel like I've found a pretty happy medium for this challenge so far with how much I'm adding to the backgrounds. I did add some colourful like stripes along the background because I thought that would look cool and it would just give a lot more movement and direction to the character as well. So I think it ended up really cool. I did use a paler blue for the background and then that bright pink colour, that like magenta colour. Overall, I love this character. I knew right from the moment I drew last year's illustration that I wanted to redraw her, and I actually think I did a good job this year. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you would improve this character if you were drawing it. I'm actually pretty happy with this one. I think it turned out cool. That's all for today. If you're interested, there's a link to the full challenge playlist on screen and in the description. Subscribe if you'd like to keep up with me completing this challenge, and I'll see you tomorrow for another prompt. Take care.